Hey guys, Jeremy Booyer here, and obviously you can tell not Jeremy Sutton this week. We got Matt Boyd with us, another racing guru, and today on the show we got a special one. I'm pretty excited about because I was at the race, but we got the 13 grand man, Eric Botelho, on here, man. Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming on.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I and I've been looking all over Facebook and all over everything, and I didn't even know you're 15 years old. When I seen you get out of the car at the Sprague, I was like, and that kid might be pretty young. And then I was like, but I'm reaching out to him anyway. We got to get this guy on the show after all the craziness that happened that night. And just to watch that race, the whole Midwest was talking about it. So, I mean, it was insane. And I was like, I got to get this kid on the show. And then when I found out you're 15, and I was like, well, our show's kind of rough sometimes, so I better watch out. But I mean, the way you were driving and everything, I figure you've heard it, you've seen it. Race car people are crazy, so it don't matter. But man, first of all, congratulations on that win, man. That was huge. And I mean, what did you think about it? I mean, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, so it was my first race back there. I've raced shootout with those guys, so I knew the level of competition that I was going into. Um, but racing in California every weekend, it definitely prepared me for that because no weekend is easy back here. So we're just walking the track and everything, and I'm looking at it. I mean, there's already a cushion right when I walked up to the track. We didn't even hit hot laps yet, so I thought that was really cool. And I knew it was going to be on the wall, and I've watched hundreds of videos on it, and I didn't think the track was going to get to that condition, which I'm happy it has because I was watching the trophy dash and stuff, and they were getting up there, but everyone was getting tight on it, and I was like, well, then what I ended up doing as the race went on, as the cushion kept building up, I just started riding on it, which it helped a lot without getting tight. So you just get tight and your car will immediately fix itself because it drives up that ramp and you can turn yourself better, ride it around, run a little cut down line, basically whatever you had to do to get around someone if you found that line. And it just really looked like I was the only one to find that line or to run it at least consistently. So that was just my biggest advantage point over people back there is just using that little ramp to my advantage, you could say.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's what I mean, it was nuts. We'll come back to the whole thing because I have a lot to say about some of that and the way some of that went down and kind of an embarrassment for me. Not really for me, but our area around here, sort of. But so I dug up on a lot of stuff and I couldn't find a whole lot. So I mean, did you start out in karts? I mean, give us your start out in racing and how you progressed to where you're at right now.
Yeah, I started about 4 years old, running flat carts like most start. Then I progressed into box stocks and outlaw cart. I grew up in the outlaw cart ranks. I ran at the same tracks that like all the big name California guys ran, like Larson, Sweet, Rico, Tanner Thorson. They all grew up at Cycleland Speedway, which is where I grew up, and a lot of young racers start their career in outlaw carts. And I ran there from 5 years old to 12 years old in the from box stock, the smallest class, to the opens, the biggest class. So I grew up 12 years old racing the biggest class there, and it that track there is just the best track. The past track owner who passed away, his name was Lowell, the greatest guy ever. He built a great track and a great growing grounds for young drivers and older drivers to get their name started. Uh, and then we moved to Red Bluff. I mean, we were making 4 or 5 hour hauls, which I'm really thankful for my parents to do that every weekend for 5, 6, 7 years. And those two tracks, they shaped me into the driver I am today. And so I grew up there. And then once I was, I think, 12, maybe 13 years old, we were looking for something bigger to just keep going my racing career. So we moved to micros and started in A class and then moved to outlaw. And then, I had a really slow start in micros actually. Had some help from the 10J guys, really helped a lot over there. And then, slow start. I didn't do much in the beginning of my micro career. And it hasn't really been until this year that I've really picked up. My confidence has picked up. you can really see it in my driving, I guess you could say. Like, I'm not scared to make moves anymore. I'm just more confident in people I'm racing now. I feel like I'm a bigger factor now. And B&B took a chance on me, a small driver. I've just been looking for an opportunity my whole racing career to show what I could do. And thankfully, B&B and Darren, they took a shot on me, and they took me to my first Midwest show other than the shootout. And we were fortunate enough to get the win there. And this race is it. I've been talked about more right now than I ever have in my racing career, which is surreal. So, I mean, this race has just opened a land of opportunities for me, and I'm really grateful.
Oh man, it's got to be, crazy because I mean, to be honest, that this is the Sprague is the biggest pay-in. I mean, it's the biggest race in the country for, and it's right here in our back. I say our backyard. We're still a couple hours away from it, but they have the hustle there, which is another $10,000-12,000 to win. They got a 13, and we have another track called Coles County up here that's having 13,000, 10,000 to win, some stuff like that. But our Midwest stuff right here is awesome. And to win one of these races, I mean, put your name on the map because I mean, I follow everybody, and when I seen your name and just watched you over the 3 days we were there, I was like, I really haven't heard of him much. And then a lot of people were saying, I think this is his first show out of California. I mean, obviously shootout, but that's kind of it's in a league of its own. But they were like, I think this is the first time he's ever came out of California much. I mean, he's just kind of been a kid running there. So I dug up all that stuff, and then I was like, well, I don't know what we'll talk about a whole lot then. But then after the whole thing, I was like, we got a lot to talk about now. But I did see one of the cool things. I love watching the California Speed Weeks because of the trophies. And you got one of those bears, don't you?
Picked one up at the Lemoore Jet Bulls, a real cool track. Had a cushion. The cushion was definitely a wall, not a ramp. There, you can't hop the cushion there. Yeah, we had a pretty good run going at Speed Week. Three top threes, and then didn't race the final night. Had some stuff going on, but yeah, it was a solid week back there. Actually, Speed Week was my very first non-wing micro win. Surprisingly,
Oh,
I've
really?
ran I've won some A class stuff, but my non-wing stuff is just getting started race basically.
I mean, how in the world did you drive like this at the Sprague and this be your first? I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of dumbfounded about it because I mean, you made the field mostly some of I say older guys, they're younger than me, the top 3 or 4 guys. I mean, you made them look awful. I mean, those guys, that's why they were mad. There was no reason they weren't mad because they said you hit them and stuff like that, which I 99% of the people, well, 98 because they're 2%. So they're the 2% who thinks you hit them because we've watched all the videos and I was physically there. And I mean, did you put it in there where they're going to either, hey, we got to hit the brakes or it's over? Yeah, but that's called racing. It's not called following. So I mean, I don't know. It was just watching that. I was like, that was the most and we actually just had some World Outlaws sprint car guys because we had a World Outlaws race at I-55 in Peevely this weekend. And Hunter Schoenberg, I don't know if you know him, he drives a 55 Vermeer car. He actually brought up the video that was on there, and I was like, because he was a big micro guy, and I raced micros with him back, in 2000s, and we brought that up, and he's like, "Did you see that, Sprague?" I said, "Well, actually, we was there," and he goes, "Did you see that kid?" And I said, "Yeah," and I said, "I heard Larson called him and said, hey, I can't believe you made my line look even better."
Like that was great to hear. Yeah, I mean, going into that weekend, I had a chip on my shoulder. It's always, made me mad that, I know people look through that list of drivers and they see Eric Botelho and they see California and they're like, he's gonna make that haul. No one knows who he is. I mean, it just really set something off in me, put a chip on my shoulder. I really didn't, I just went into that race. I had nothing to lose. I went out there to grow my name. I've wanted to be a professional race car driver since I was 4 years old. So I really just looked at this race, the big money, the amount of people watching it as just like an eye opener for me. The money is cool, but I mean, it was an eye opener race for me to really show people what I could do.
Oh yeah.
Um,
This is going to
so
be, I mean, this has already probably you've had to have, I mean, more than our little podcast, talk about you or do something, but well, I mean, it's going to be a huge deal for you in your racing program, man. I mean, in your future. And that's, it's just, I mean, everyone's talking about it. They still are talking about it. That's why I said we got to hurry up and get this going because I don't want people to forget about it. You know, it was a week ago, you know, but we got to get this one out and hurry up and get, so I don't want people to be like, oh, that was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that was cool, you know, or whatever. But that's why we needed to hurry up and get this thing going. But yeah, when we think about California, you know, we're all super pumped when we see a lot of the California guys going to roll in, and you know, we're thinking KJ Snow and Hagopian and Facento and a lot of those guys. And when they roll in, you're like, man, they're a threat. I mean, those guys are the you know guys, and even I guess your buddies with Jet Yanis, because
Yeah.
he rolls in, man. Everybody's like, yep, you know, there's a 5, 6 California guys that all 5 of those could be your top 5 guys at the biggest races in the country in the Midwest, and then throw your name in there now because I mean, obviously you showed them that you know you're here, man, and I bet the opportunities are going to be great for you, man, and I just really appreciate you coming on because you know we're going to have like one of our first micro interviews for the Sprague, and it's going to be us, so that's pretty cool. And we've just our channel, you know, or not our channel, we don't really know what we're doing. We just do a podcast, and we don't know how to do the YouTube. We don't make no money, but we've actually blown up over the last month or so, and our local track had a big old incident there and got 500,000 views like the same night you won that race, and our channels or our show is just blown up, and I mean it's crazy. So we've got a ton more followers now, so hopefully it reaches out to some more people, and a lot of people do know that we follow a lot more micro stuff just because I have a micro and a restrictor micro that I have some people drive, and so a lot of people will follow it. So hopefully our show may be a minute thing for you, but I mean, people are going to know it, you know, so they're going to know your name. So 18th to 1st, we'll go ahead and dive in that. We already did your whole, you know, outlaw carts, and I did see you ran a shootout for a few years and some stuff like that. Never, have you had any success at the shootout, made any shows or anything?
Yeah, my second year, I made the A class main, and I started dead last, literally 24th. Literally rolling down the ramp. I think my left front was going flat as we were rolling down the ramp. I mean, we think it was rolling down the ramp flat, but yeah, we went like 24th to like 17th, 16th, and like 5 laps, and you know, progressively as the race went on, the left front just went flat. So made the A class main, but last year we showed a lot of speed. Just you know, as you probably know, shootout, that's 75% luck at that race.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
just caught up in other people's stuff, and just you know, not as good as I wanted to do, but I'm glad we showed a lot of speed there.
Yeah, I mean the shootouts. I mean, people can say what they want. Yeah, you gotta be a good driver to make the show, but there is a good handful that if you don't get any luck, some of your best drivers out there ain't gonna be in the show. And but it's an awesome environment. I mean, that whole week is so freaking cool. You know, I've been doing that. I've been going there since 2001 or two or something, and when I used to race, and then now I go with other guys, and you know, we're big Joe B. Miller fans because he lives right here by us, and you know he does all our stuff, and we actually you know travel with him a lot with the micro stuff, and always you know hang out with him. He's a good dude, so watch him you know try to still compete with these young guys. He's starting to get old too, but his sprint car game's getting big, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I was gonna say so 18th to 1st, 13,000 to win, and the video seen around the world, which I sent you a text message about, you know, was probably one of the coolest videos. And I gotta say, I shared it with probably 50 people right off of my messenger and put, man, because we were all kind of just sitting there when we seen what was going on. I was like, what the heck? And I'll bring up the guy, you know, Cole Kirkman. He wins a lot of stuff in the Midwest. He's a fast dude. He cries a lot. He you know if he gets beat, and then Spence kind of come out of nowhere. I've watched him race. He's a clean, smooth driver. So that one kind of threw me for a curveball. I've never seen him really complain or do anything like that. But the Kirkman deal, mostly his interview and everything. I mean, I wanted to talk about our podcast, but I was going to go ahead and bring it up with your stuff, and that was a pretty big embarrassment for me for the Midwest because he is a Midwest driver, and for him to say stuff like that, I mean, and I know his car owner, and his car owner is a great dude. His name's Troy. He's a good dude, and I almost feel like embarrassed for him after the way he acted and what he done and all that stuff. And I don't know, it just got to me a little bit, and I don't even know you, and just by watching it, and then his actions and stuff, his sponsors and everybody, that's an embarrassment of our area. And I'll apologize to you because I think it was stupid. But I mean, it ain't my deal to apologize. But I am going to say, Cole Kirkman acted like an idiot, and that was probably the stupidest thing I've seen somebody do and say. What happened was a 15-year-old kid come in here that you didn't know and put it to you, and you got pissed, and now you're going home with second and third. And it is what it is. But here's the deal: they got second and third in the biggest race in the country. I would still been like, man, I got second and third. I mean, yeah, that kid, he just, you beat him. You completely beat him. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. And for them to say you drove through him and everything, what was he wanting you to do? I mean, should he have said, hey, man, hey, hold up. I'm slowing down a little bit. I need you to stay back there for a minute, man. Just chill out. I don't need you to pass me yet. Give me a minute, or what. I don't know what was going through their minds, but I think what it boiled down to was somebody come by him and they probably didn't even see your number because you were by him so fast. And, they had to hit the brakes a few times because you threw it in there on them, but it's called racing, not following. And I mean, it was just, all of us were around here. We're like, what the heck is Kirkman even saying? That was such an embarrassment, but I mean, an awesome run for you. So I don't want to dwell on all those guys and don't want you to, get a bad name for the Midwest. Cause even some of our big name drivers that are around here was embarrassed of it. And I was like, yeah, I get it too, man. I mean, that was pretty stupid. They were like, that kid put a clinic on from like 18th place, and they want to say he hit him and this and that. And I mean, and if you guys did bump here and there, which I watched the whole thing, and you may have seen something like that, but when I'm talking about to be that mad about the situation is when you put somebody in the fence or something. That's how mad, that's a typical race car driver, but not you slide them where you're an inch from them and they have to hit the brakes. That's called winning, man. I mean, and it was freaking awesome. And we've replayed it 10 different times and everyone talks about it around here. So I still just want to say congratulations, and don't let those guys, give our Midwest area, a bad rap, because we have some really good drivers, that really good dudes. And they all actually were on your side and like, man, I don't know where this kid came from either, but that was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. So don't take the Midwest too bad for us.
I feel like a lot of the thing was that everybody was like, who?
Yeah, they were.
And he came from 18th
Yeah,
or 17th, whatever it was. But that was a lot of the thing, because that race, you have 5 or 6 guys that everybody's like, oh man, these guys are going to be in the front. And then, with that last caution, I watched a whole bunch of videos that people would film from the stands. And they're like, man, who's this kid in third? Who's this kid? Who's this kid? That's what every video was like. And then, you just put it to them.
yeah. I mean, and Yellow come out with a couple laps left, but that's racing too, man. I know Spence he was ahead pretty good, but Yellow's come out, man, and that's the way stuff rolls, man. And then you were gone. So I mean, once you got by him, they weren't doing nothing. So I mean, I don't know. It was just an awesome race, man. And I mean, it's got to get your name out there. I don't know. Have you had anybody reach out to you, or anybody that kind of been like that you've been like, holy crap, man, this guy, kind of got a hold of me and said, I seen that video. That was cool.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people reach out, obviously, congratulating me. I mean, I haven't had much, honestly. I mean, I've had like a couple guys follow me on Instagram, like Corey Day followed me on TikTok, and like Chad Boat, he followed me on Instagram and stuff. So it's cool to see that. But
Yeah.
like as a driver, I've went back, watched the video 1,000 times already, and I'm the harshest on myself more than anyone. And I'm dissecting this race piece by piece, like trying to see where these guys, like where they were really mad at me. And I just came to the conclusion, like I felt like I did the best I could that race with what I was given, where I started and stuff like that. And in the end of it, he has his opinions, I have mine. And I feel like I did everything right that race. And I finally had a race where things went my way. I got that caution after being so fast the whole race. And, things just went my way, which I'm so thankful for. Because without that last caution, I was going to get second, but I obviously wasn't going to be able to get to the lead because I just got by Kirkman when that yellow went out. And, I didn't know how many laps were left, and I was asking my crew guys and like, how much time do I got? Like, I need to start forcing the issue, and no one told me anything. So I was like, it's definitely been a long race. I really need to get going. It's probably a green white checkered, and we got a green white checkered, and the end ended how it did.
Yeah, well, I think your crew guys couldn't do much because if I remember correctly, they were like hanging from the fences in the back. So they wouldn't have been able to tell you much, but like, hey, look at me. You do whatever you want to do because we're freaking hanging from the fence back here. So it was pretty wild. I'm pretty sure that was some of your guys back there because I don't think the second and third place their guys weren't hanging from the fence.
Yeah, my guys were definitely excited. Darren's a great guy. My whole crew, we worked so hard that weekend. My car is actually still in Illinois right now because our truck broke down, so we still got the car. I could have raced this weekend at the SIR, but I could have flew back out, but
Oh man, you
you
should have
know,
flew out for the well, that was an outlaw. You got an outlaw car. I was gonna say because I think the KKM had a US 24 10,000 to win show this weekend, but they changed all that to A class out there, and a lot of people have kind of dumped it. So, but they still had a 10,000 win. I think it's US 24 in Indiana this past weekend, but I don't even remember who won because once they went to A class, I'm outlaws kind of my jam. So you spend all the money, you definitely want to be at an outlaw show. You don't want to be in an A class show, but that's a whole different ball game. But so you ran 10J cars, which another thing I want to say is, we are jealous of a lot of the California stuff because like, Hagopian started the D1 deal, man, his cars always look so awesome, man. And then the 10J deal, which I know they were, we don't know all the details and stuff, but I know those guys were kind of buddies and they kind of helped each other for a while and then split ways. I don't know, all the stuff, even if there ain't no drama or nothing, but then the 10J guy started his stuff. And I mean, I follow all that and his cars are freaking cool looking, man. I mean, he builds all that stuff and all that stuff. There's a handful of 10Js up in our area and they're just neat looking cars, but the B&B car you're driving, where are they actually made out of?
they're out up by San Diego. Really really small company. It's run by a guy named Darren. He's a great guy. He's done a lot. He's done a lot for me in such a short time of my career. Just by the Sprague, take me back there, the Sprague. Um, he builds a great car, and they're really fairly new. And he's took Jake Andreotti. He's took him around, and Andreotti's won a lot of big shows in it. And yeah, B&B is they're a really good car. It's a great car.
Now, I want to say, because we have, Frank Galusha's team runs around our area and everything, and they hit up all the big races around our area. I think he has a B&B or maybe two of them because he was a Stallard guy, and then after that all folded and stuff. And I think that the two newer cars he got, or it might be just be one of them. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think that he runs a couple B&Bs too. Is that correct? Or do you know that?
Yeah, I don't know how many he has, but I'm 99% sure Brant Woods, he was running a B&B
The Hustle.
at the Hustle and he won. I'm pretty sure that was a B&B. And then I know he was running one this past weekend at the Terry Sprague. And yeah, he was fast, just not a lot of luck. There was
Yeah.
about five B&Bs in the field, I'm pretty sure.
He comes Brant Woods running when he gets in Galusha's car, and I'm pretty sure it is a B&B. They come around here and he's usually the guy to be. He was kind of my pick for the Sprague, that was for sure, because he's been on fire lately, winning even just normal shows. He's been winning, and anytime he gets with the Galusha and jumps in that car, it seems like he does pretty good. So that means B&B cars have won the two biggest micro races in the country right now. So that's got to make what does he say? His name's Darren owns it.
Yeah, his name's Darren.
Yeah, he's got to be living the dream right now. He's probably getting a little bit of orders because that seems to be the way it goes. You win the shootout or a couple big shows, there's a couple cars that get sold sometimes.
Oh yeah, Darren's a great guy. I definitely want the B&B company to grow across the nation. Um, you know, they're different. They're different looking. It was the first time like I seen a concept chassis back there. So there, I mean, I guess to the eye, the B&B looks similar, but I've ran the 10J. 10J is a great car too. The B&B is a great car. But Darren's definitely done a great job at taking drivers across the country and doing what he does, setting the car up really good, just giving the driver the best chance to perform at the highest level with the highest performing athletes in our sport.
Yeah. So is Yantis and all them, do they, because they used to have 10Js too, didn't they?
Yeah, they still have a 10J. They actually run for Jared Huckleberry, the owner of 10J, in
Okay.
their wing stuff, and they have a non-wing car back at home too. But they still have a good amount of 10Js back at home.
Okay. They run the B&Bs also though?
Yeah, they run it in their non-wing stuff back home.
Well, I'm gonna probably, which I don't know if he's going to, but I'm gonna push on the Darren. I'm gonna find him on Facebook and through our podcast, and I'm gonna put a whole bunch of stuff because we have September 26th and 27th at Coles County Speedway, which is another ripping track in the Midwest. It's a 10,000 to win show, and I'm gonna push almost once a week to have him bring some cars up here. So hopefully maybe he'll bring you back up here for that show because that's one of our tracks that sponsors our podcast really good. And the guys that just started out this year, and he had a 13 something thousand win show, got rained out. KKM show got rained. Everything that he's had's got rained out. So this is his last big show because he had almost 10,000 to win shows and hasn't had any of them. So we're really going to be promoting his race. But for 10,000 to win, I think we can get Darren to tote that thing up here, man. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, he's actually done quite a bit of traveling. Whatever Darren wants to do, it's what we're gonna do. If he wants to take me, I'd be really grateful. Yeah, I see. I remember. I think Hagopian and all them. They were gonna go to that 13 grand to win
Yep.
at Coles County. I haven't watched much on the track, but to what I've been hearing, it sounds like a pretty cool track.
Yeah, it's really good. That one stays a lot juicier. It's a lot dirty or a lot kind of gumbo dirt, I guess it is. So it's fast and it won't be yeah, it won't be on the fence, but the berm gets huge. So kind of more like what you're probably talking about, like SIR, you can kind of use the fence as the berm there, but Coles County, you're going to get like a one or when the midgets are there, it's really bad, but like you're going to get a big berm on there and it won't be on the fence, but it'll be close, but the whole track just keeps moisture in it. And it's a hair bigger than SIR, but it's not quite as banked probably, but it's a great facility. He just started all that place, but yeah, he's got a 10,000 to win, September 26th, 27th. And I was telling all my buddies, I said, well, when we have Eric on the show, I'm going to make sure I get the owner's name because we're going to send him a message about once a week and say, hey, we need these cars here because Galusha will be there, I'm for sure. So, I mean, why not get the rest of the clan to come and hopefully he'll bring you out. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, money attracts people. Obviously,
Oh, yeah.
the Midwest has done a good job of putting a lot of big money shows up. California just they don't have a lot of big money stuff. They have a couple races a year, but Midwest, you look 10 grand, 13 grand, 12 grand. It's like almost every other weekend back there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I really like that. I mean, this.
That's where Steven Snyder, man. I mean, obviously you know him from drives hypers and stuff, but he's 100 grand. I mean, he won 100 grand racing micros, and I mean, how do you do that? I mean, that was 2 years ago, and then now look where he's at. Obviously, he's gonna have a good sprint car. Well, I say that he's got a great ride right now. It's just a Pennsylvania car, and they take him some places, and he is killing it. I mean, when I say killing it, once you jump into the sprint car game and you make big shows and you finish some top tens, that's, in my opinion, that's pretty killing it. You're not going to be going out to a high limit or World Outlaw show and winning or something like that. I mean, you got to be pretty stout for something like that. But Steven Snyder, man, he stepped up his game and kind of got out of the micro, but he won 100 grand here, and he was at every one of our, I would say we have 5, 6, 10,000 plus money races right here, within our Midwest area. And he won damn near all of them that year. And I mean, to win $100,000, because he probably got half a cut or so of that, and so he traveled around, probably all expenses paid, and did his gig and made 50 grand in his pocket and lived the dream. And I mean in my eyes, you keep doing that kind of stuff, man. You could be the next kid, man. I mean, I hope so, but I hope you come to the Midwest. I mean, California's cool and all, but we would like to actually come out to California for a speed week. You know, we've always talked about bringing cars out there, but it's hard to justify it when there's not no big money races and just a regular speed week. But the Pennsylvania Speed Week and the California Speed Week are always something that, the Midwest guys are like, man, one time I want to make a vacation out of it just to go. But the California would be probably better than the Pennsylvania because, I mean, I don't really know what you do in Pennsylvania really, but California seems a little more, at least you can go look at cool stuff and, do some, traveling around by the ocean and everything. Pennsylvania probably just rains.
Yeah, where our tracks are generally located, it's in the farmland, really, not up by
Anything
where,
cool. We're not going
yeah,
to,
not where everyone's like, oh, let's go to the beach. No, you got to drive about 2 hours to go get there if
yeah.
you want to get.
That ain't terrible for us. Most of our Midwest tracks are, a couple hours from us. We're pretty lucky because I would say that all these tracks that, we've been talking about SIR in Coles County and, even our Indiana is only 3 or so hours away, but Port City, which is another mecca of a track, which you got to hit up, and all the fast guys go there, obviously. And they have a couple 10,000 to win races. Actually, I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but like last or 2 years ago, my driver Cole Tinsley won the milestone 10,000 in March. So I mean, that was pretty cool, But they have a milestone race at the beginning of the year, which is a wing race, and it's 10,000 to win. They have a non-wing race, and then they have the finale KKM, but it is A class now, so I don't think we're going to be hitting that up. But yeah, they have a couple 10,000, but if you haven't got to Port City, that's only 5 hours from us or 4 hours. So I mean, we have a mecca of tracks right here in the Midwest. It's pretty awesome, but we got to get you back up here. So I got to get on Darren and get him to, you know, tote those cars back up here and not just let Galusha and Brant Woods have all the fun. But yeah, that's cool, man. Well, I mean, I just wanted to get you on here and talk about all that. And I know all the people wanted to talk about the drama and all the cool stuff that happened. And we just all thought a lot of it was an embarrassment, but it was, it was a great run by you, man. And 13 grand, man. I mean, that's going to stick with you for a while. It's the biggest race right now in the country that's paying. And I mean, it's awesome. But, like you want to thank some of your sponsors, man, who all kind of get you out on the road. I mean, I know your mom and dad probably, but what else you got?
Oh yeah, first of all, I want to thank B&B and Darren for taking me and everything. I want to thank On Point Grading and Paving, Brian Furtado, my grandparents, my mom, my dad, my sister, Speed Stick Shocks, BPR Race Engines, Darren again, and For Racing, Joe Yanis. I want to thank them for hauling our stuff and everything. And yeah, they've been a good help in my career too.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on and keep September 26th and 27th open because I'm going to push on some of this I'm going to make sure that Darren knows who the Dirty Right Here podcast and Jeremy is because we got to get you back up here, mostly just to piss off everybody. So, I mean, that would be the cool part.
Yeah, I'd love to go do it again.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, that's about all I got for you, man. I just wanted to chime in and get all the cool stuff that happened. I mean, you put on a hell of a show, and everyone's still talking about it. And we're gonna shoot your name out there and try to do whatever we can for you, man. Because that was just something that we don't get to see very often. I mean, it's pretty cool, and hopefully Kyle Larson calls you for some pointers because you did it better than him. And I mean, he needs to at the shootout. Maybe he'll say, hey, man, you know that line you ran. So give me a little more insight on that because mine wasn't as good, but but no,
oh yeah,
we really appreciate it, man. And we hope to see you up here, at least another race or so. There's no way Darren can't bring you back. So, I mean, if he don't, then we're going to be on the bad side of him. We're going to be like, what's Darren want to do? Cherry pick out in California or what?
Yeah, Larson's been my inspiration since, he's, if I want to be like anyone, I want to be like Larson. I literally grew up like him, running the tracks like him. So, if I could get Larson to see me and stuff, that's the dream, really. For him to, yeah. Because actually, like the outlaw kart races, he had his own race at Cyclone Speedway, the Kyle Larson Outlaw Kart Showcase. So I won that twice, and I got to meet him, and he's the coolest guy.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, there's people that are like Kyle Larson haters, but if you're kind of a hater, you're not really a race fan because I mean, even if I'm not a Donnie Schatz fan, but what he did with the World Outlaws for like 10 years straight was awesome. But I'm not, I was like, yeah, whatever. Donnie won again. But you can't say he's not good. But there's some guys that are like, oh, Larson, I don't want to see him win. He's got all that money. It don't matter what he's got. Look what he does, man. Those guys are insane. There's only a handful of guys in the country. Chris Bell can do it. He can do it. And there's a couple other dudes, but come on, man. If you're not a fan of Larson, you're not a fan of dirt track racing or anything. I mean, but yeah, hopefully he gets some pointers from you because I think you did it better, man. You've got a huge fan base out here in the Midwest now. I know everyone that was there, and I mean, you had to have seen it when you got out of that car. People were cheering for you, and they didn't know who you were. They were just like, holy crap. And then I heard boos on the 22 side, the Kirkman side, and that don't happen here. So I mean, that's a big accomplishment. You gain a ton of fans, and I know if you end up coming up here and we can promote and say, hey, yeah, that Eric Botelho, he's coming to Coles County on the 26th. We can probably help the promoter out there and get a couple more people in the stands just because you're probably coming.
Yeah, that's what about growing the fan base across the country. That's the goal.
Yep. Well, man, we've took up about 45 minutes of your time, man. And we just appreciate it, and I hope the best for you. And I mean, I know our show may not do much for you, but we're gonna push it out and throw your name out there for you, and hopefully we get to see you again. But man, we really appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks, man. Congratulations again.
Yep. See you, man.
Yeah, thank you.